Rangers lose 3-2 to the New Jersey Devils in game 3 of the preseason. Just making sure my mic's on before I start going on a tangent here. But yeah, what a while in this Rangers to outplay the Devils in at least every statistical way and still lose the game. I did not expect, and the main thing that I really didn't expect is Rangers Twitter to turn into a war zone in the preseason, and me pretty much being the orchestrator behind it. To a degree, I don't want to give myself a pat on the back, and I'm not happy about it. But yeah, obviously the main thing and the main concern of this game was, in most people's mind was Alexi Lafreniere and how he underperformed, and it just started a huge war on Twitter because I'm doing what I usually do. I'm sitting there criticizing players for not playing well. I'm praising players that are playing well. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing here. And somehow people are mad at me when I'm still criticizing other players on Twitter. But apparently, it was a problem when I was criticizing Lafreniere. But regardless, I mean, I'm not happy with the way that he played. There's a couple players that I'm not happy with the way they played. Not happy about Brain Schneider. Brain Schneider is a problem right now, and there needs to be serious discussions here about him starting the year in Hartford, especially if Zach Jones is going to look like he's going to look, especially if Matt Hollowell is going to look the way he's going to look. There needs to be serious conversations about them giving him the Filipino treatment from his not first year, it's like third year in the NHL. Give him the Filipino treatment, start him in Hartford, and see if he could dominate and make him force his way to be called back up. They might have to do that with Braden Schneider because he looked so bad out there. He definitely wasn't as bad as he was in Boston, don't get me wrong, but there were so many times where it's like, come on, man, going out of position to chase pucks. And then on that second goal, or not the second goal, the Tyler Toffoli goal. He goes for the poke check, but he tries to reach around, starts chasing the puck, and Tyler Toffoli just throws it on net. And then all of a sudden, it bounces weirdly into the net and trickles through Igor. Made it a 1-0 game. Nemec and Hughes got the assist on that one, but there needs to be serious conversations here about it. Before we jump further into this, by the way, leave a like if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. But let's talk about this game. First of all, I want to get out of the way. I'm actually pleased with the way the Rangers played for the most part in this game. What are things that I liked? I loved the way that they were getting sustained offensive zone pressure. I loved the fact that their passing game, it was definitely a little worse than it was against the Islanders, but it still looked very good at points in this game. I thought the passing looked very good. I'm very pleased with the way they were playing physically. I thought physicality, they looked physical-wise, and the physicality they were bringing throughout the night was very good. I thought they made a lot of good plays in the neutral zone at times. At least defensively, like this is the thing. Defensively, they look fine in the neutral zone. This is where we shift to the bad. I thought they made way too many mistakes in the neutral zone offensively, whether they were trying to do what they did a lot under Gallant, which was force the stretch pass, trying to make plays at the blue line and get too cute with it instead of just dumping the puck in and getting after it and grinding away, winning a board battle, and then starting the pressure, which I don't understand why they could do that consistently. You look at the Rangers' best shift of the night, that first period, like how long were they in the offensive zone there? How long were they in the offensive zone making plays at the blue line too to keep the puck in the offensive zone, dumping it down low, mucking away, grinding, then getting to the middle of the ice, cycling the puck, throwing a shot on net, doing it all over again. Like that was something that we want to see on a consistent basis, and that is what the Rangers should be doing. And remember how we hyped up the shift against Tampa? That's something that we want to see consistently. And it ended up drawing a penalty too, right? Yeah, I mean, like that was something that, or no, that was the second period. I don't know why I said the first period. That was the second period. Completely got that mixed up. But the second period, they end up drawing a penalty for it later on. So Yeah, that's the type of shifts that we need. I thought the second period, like the first period, just to quickly go there, the first few minutes of the game, abysmal. They were outshot, I think, like 8-0 at one point. And then after that, I thought the Rangers really played fine throughout the rest of the night. There was late in the first, they looked bad at points in the game. I thought that they looked great after the first TV timeout. In that first period, I thought they started to get into the game a little bit more and they started to open things up offensively and they started to tighten up a little bit defensively. But they then another commercial break late in the period, and the Devils just end up coming out of that commercial break buzzing. And yeah, that's what ended up leading to the Tyler Toffoli goal. The second period, though, Rangers freaking went. That was a really good period for the Rangers. Really good period. They're outshot 12-9, by the way, in the first period. Mika Zibanejad, by the way, took a penalty that period. Not a great penalty to take, but that wasn't the dumbest penalty of the night for, especially for a Ranger to take. Yikes. Second period, though, like I said, buzzing. They had that electric shift in the offensive zone. They ended up drawing a penalty on that one too. So from Kevin Ball, but they look great. But that's where we get to the concern. The power play did not look good whatsoever. Granted, Peter Laviolette said that they're first starting to really practice and emphasize their special teams play, which definitely makes me feel a lot better from what we've seen from the penalty kill and what we've seen from the power play, because both did not look good, especially the penalty kill. The penalty kill, Igor had to bail them out a lot. I forgot to mention, too, the Devils almost made it 2-0 at the end of that first period. And then Igor makes an absurd windmill save. Forgot who that was on. I'll quickly find that out for you guys there. Yeah, it was on Nemec. That's who I thought it was on. Yeah, he made a sick glove save there. So, yeah, Igor was really stepping up and making some big saves. And that's like the main thing. Like, right, the Rangers limited the opportunities for the Devils, but the problem I felt was, and I think Laviolette mentioned it, is that it was what he phrased with the Boston game. Too noisy of chances and too many good opportunities were left for the Devils. I thought that there was way too many odd man rushes at times, and I get it that that's the Devils game, but at the same time, the Rangers had to be better on those opportunities, and they had to be more aware and made smarter decisions in the offensive zone. And they couldn't let the Devils cheat the game at times too. I thought they let the Devils cheat the game at times as well. Granted, again, I'm still not going to be too mad because the Devils they finished with 7 high danger chances. The Rangers finished with 12. That second period alone, the Rangers had to get a lot, and they ended up scoring in the second period, though, as Erik Gustafsson, my sixth defenseman, maybe even you could consider him the 5th best defenseman on the team. What did I say? He's gonna be a dog. He's gonna be a key factor for this team. You look at the point totals that he was putting up, and you look at the defensive metrics on top of that, and you're seeing him sign for as much as he did. Meanwhile, Klingberg signed for $4 million. Right? You're seeing Shane Gostisbehere signed for $4 million. Gustafsson, sweetheart deal, can do it on both ends. Did it on both ends. He was the Rangers' best player on the ice tonight, far and away, and he did it on both ends of the puck. And he ended up getting rewarded with a beautiful goal there. Braden Schneider and Will Coley with the assist. Nice little pass there from Schneider too on the play. I actually want to get a look at the goal if I can again, since it was felt like forever ago. But yeah, Erik Gustafsson, he's going to be just such a big factor for this team. I'm telling you, he's going to be just such a big factor for his team. He made just so many great plays tonight, offensively and defensively, and in the neutral zone as well. And that goal, Schneider just finds him. He comes Erik Gustafsson. I could rave about him all night. I love Erik Gustafsson. I'm a Gustafsson guy. And if he signed a 2 to 3 year deal, you know damn well I'd be rocking a Gustafsson jersey at the Garden. But unfortunately, he's only here for 1 year, it looks like. But if he gets extended, don't get it twisted. It might have to happen. But I digress. I was at the Garden, by the way, which is why I'm streaming so late. So But yeah, uh, then there was another penalty that New Jersey ended up taking, and again, the power play just did not really capitalize on the opportunities. And then the Devils really had nothing in the second period except for when they had the power play because the penalty kill looked so abysmal. And even then, they didn't score because Igor just made ridiculous saves. He played 2 periods in this game as well. As Chris Kreider took an interesting one, of a penalty, and I don't know why, but he decided to just spear. Who was it that he decided to just spear right in an unpleasant area? We'll leave it at that. He speared someone in an unpleasant area. I think it was actually Simon Nemec, also, but yeah, he just spears him in a not so fun area. Why? I don't know, but it pissed me off because you cannot take a penalty like that. I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care what game or time of year it is. You cannot be doing that. And it was just a stupid penalty to take. It might have been Kevin Ball. I don't remember, but regardless, just a dumb penalty. And New Jersey got some of their better opportunities on the power play. Igor, though, bailed him out. Igor had another play in the second period where he bailed out Schneider for making a terrible play where he's just drifting, and Clark gets an opportunity on a breakaway. And Igor ended up making a nice little pad save. But yeah, Lafreniere got into it with Nemec at the end of the period as well. They end up getting roughing penalties. But 17-7 were the shots in favor of the Rangers in the second period. They did everything right but score. By the way, I just want to talk about this. The Rangers, we complained about them tonight shooting the puck too much at points in the game. And what do I mean? We complained about them missing the net at times. They still had 41 shots on goal and still had 12 high danger chances. Guys, this team is going to be something. This team's going to be something. I would have liked for them to have, got a little bit better opportunities on Akira. I thought that they didn't really get the high danger chances until he was in the net. Sure enough, they scored right as he got out of net. He just seems to be their kryptonite for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, they still played so good. At least with creating chances. Defensively, they needed to clean things up, though. That's for sure. We get to the third period, and Jesper Bratt ends up scoring on the first shot Louis Domingue sees because he comes into the game. And Louis Domingue was really not great. Really not great. But I'm not going to get mad at him because I'm really not gonna fault him when that was a breakaway there, that opportunity. So I'm not even gonna be that mad. I'm more mad at who was it that was actually I forgot who it was on that play that ended up making the poor defensive play. Yeah, like Adam Fox was just drifting. That's who it was. Yeah, Adam Fox, like on that goal, I don't know what he was doing, but he's just drifting on the play. And then Kreider ends up getting beat by Jesper Bratt there. And then he ends up just getting a golden opportunity. And Louis Domingue really didn't have a chance. It's a save Igor probably makes just because it's Igor, but yeah, most goalies aren't expected to make that save. That made it 2-1. Kevin Ball and Luke Hughes, because of course Luke Hughes had to get a point, gets the assist. Nemec took a penalty in the period as well. The power play I thought looked okay in the third. I thought the second unit was actually better on the power play. I thought that Mika, Kreider, Lafreniere, Coley, and then Fox, I thought that unit didn't really have it. I didn't like a lot of decisions they were making. And then this was where Lafreniere got crucified, is on that power play. He tries to move it up the ice and he just gifts it right to the Devils. Created an opportunity. Louis Domingue has to make a save shorthanded, right? So like little things like that was a problem. Adam Fox just wasn't manning the puck well on that power play too. And I'm a little disappointed. I don't know what Gustafsson was, why he was on the bench for that second unit. I get that they're trying to test out some different things here, but come on, get my guy Gustafsson on the power play unit and now. So yeah, just was upsetting. And then another play that I wanted to point out, there was a play in that third period where Zach Jones just dummied. He was dummied him. Zach Jones, weird night. Abnormal night. He did some things good offensively, but he looked better on the defensive end of things compared to the offensive side. He had like one bad turnover that I didn't appreciate, but I thought Zach Jones still had a very quietly good night, which we'll talk more about after. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, the empty net goal, Adam Fox, terrible play. Michael McLeod ends up getting the empty netter. And then for some reason, TSN has it listed as Johnny Brzezinski scoring the goal, but that just wasn't the case. Eric Gustafson tries to shoot the puck, stick breaks, ends up to Othman, and he snipes his first one of the preseason. Othman, another guy who looks like he belongs here, and he ends up making it a 3-2 game. Gustafson and Miller with the apples on that one. And yeah, Brennan Othman, great night. Gustafson, great night. But the Rangers end up falling. And yeah, they end up falling 3-2. Just unfortunate, like I said, because of the fact that, you look at it as both teams had 2 goals each when there was a goalie in the net. And if Fox just handles the puck better there, maybe we're talking about a win. I don't know. But regardless, I'm not complaining about this. One, it's the preseason. Two, the Rangers still looked very dominant at points in this game. I just would like if defensively they could clean up some of those chances that they allowed, like they did against the Islanders. Like against the Islanders, they were nails defensively. I just would like something like that. And they can't start a game that slow ever again. Like that was just really bad. And they're lucky the Devils didn't pounce. Shots on goal were 41-25 in favor of the Rangers. Rangers over on the power play. Are we seeing something where the Rangers are going to be good on the power play or good at even strength and suck on the power play? I don't know, but I'd hate that. That's for sure. Because if they were half what they were on the power play last year in this game tonight, they win the game. And then hits 25-11 in favor of the Rangers. Again, they bodied the Devils all night. And Jack Hughes, he looked like he was trying to do too much at times in this game. And the Rangers really just made him look silly out there with some of the plays he made. And they got lucky, though, with some of the missed shots that he had because he had a couple open looks as well. But, man, I'll be honest, watching a first overall pick like that, I'm jealous. And Connor Bedard torching the Blues out there. Meanwhile, Ranger fans are hyping up Lafreniere for him getting physical with Simon Nemec at the end of that second period. Like, come on. I mean, don't get me wrong, because this is where everyone got mad at me on Twitter. But people have to understand, I'm not rooting against Lafreniere and preying on his downfall. I'm not bringing out the pom-poms and doing backflips about him making mistakes and playing bad. I'm just simply pointing out the mistakes that he's making and how he's underachieving and how he's been the same player from year one to now, and it's a problem. And don't get me wrong, I'm criticizing other players. I rip Braden Schneider to shreds. And even then, I mean, he still, at least according to the analytics, had a very good offensive night. But defensively, I mean, yikes defensively. And my eyeballs saw it. The charts say it. He had a brutal night defensively. But offensively, I agree with the charts. I thought he was solid on that side of things. 15-3, by the way, or 15-6 in favor of the Rangers with the shots in the third. I agree with Laviolette, though, in his post game. I felt like the Rangers were chasing a bit in the third, and yeah, like the shots don't dictate that. I thought the Rangers weren't really too dominant that period, but the second period, second period, almost a 70. What was it? Scoring chances for percentage for the Rangers in the second period, 68.75%. Their Corsi for in that period, 75%. In the third period, still 70%. And I'm talking about it not being the best period, but still, I thought they were good that period. And then the first period's really what was their Achilles heel, where they're 55% still Corsi for percentage. How refreshing is this, though, that even though the Rangers lost, we're still looking at the numbers and being like, wow, they look good still. And the eyeballs said it too. Like I said, I thought New Jersey, outside of those first few minutes of the game, the Rangers really neutralized them and they kept up with their tempo at points in the game. And yeah, I really felt like the only thing that sucked is I felt like they gave New Jersey a little bit too many good opportunities on a platter. And if they could just limit some of those noisy chances, as Laviolette says, this team is going to be this team's going to be something else. It's going to be something else because you look at all the stats; they were just in favor of the Rangers. They out the Corsi by the end of the night was 65 or 64% for the Rangers, 35% for the Devils. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. And then, yeah, the scoring chances for the Rangers ended up finishing at 27, for the Devils 18. Again, with how many shots they had, they should not have had as good of opportunities. The Rangers also had about 3 expected goals, while the Devils had about 1 to 2. So, again, it's refreshing talking about that process, the process, the process. Meanwhile, it feels like it doesn't work still, right? Feels like every time the Rangers look bad in these analytics, they end up winning. But hey, against the Islanders, they dominated them in those regards, and they still look good. But the numbers also say Gustafsson had a great game. Would agree there. Foley had a great game. Would agree there. He needs to be on the opening night roster if he keeps this up. Hoffman had a good night. Would agree there. Would have liked to have seen a little more offensively at points in the game, but I thought he was still looking very good. And it's a little concerning that he's passing a guy like Lafreniere in terms of play. Belzile, weird night for him. He had a lot. He looked like he was getting involved and playing a good game at points, but my God, he could not hit the net. He could not hit the net if he tried. He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Capo Caco, it said he wasn't great defensively, but very good on the offensive side of things. Would agree there. I mean, with the puck, he looks so confident now, and it's just so nice to see that as well. Like, Capo Caco looks great. Zach Jones looked good. Lead and Carlson, or Carl Henriksen, Carlson. Lita and Henriksen, the charts kind of back up that they were okay. Keandre Miller, I agree with the charts here. I mean, he had one play where he absolutely dummied Luke Hughes, but I wasn't impressed with Keandre Miller. Nick Bonino, I thought he was visibly bad. Blake Wheeler's the one guy where I'm looking at the chart and it's like, I didn't think he was that bad. I thought he was pretty good at points in the game. Granted, it was mostly the second period that he stood out, but Blake Wheeler, I mean, he had a better game than he did against the Islanders, at least in my opinion. Kreider did not have a good game. It was sad to see Kreider, Lafreniere, and Zibanejad have that bad of a game together because that's a line that I was advocating for, and it's like I'm concerned, especially with Kreider with his play. Like that's 2 nights in a row where he just has not looked great. He has not looked great. Chris Kreider did not really have a good game, and he took that dumb penalty. Little worrisome, little worrisome, but I'm not going to over panic because it is preseason. But still, like this is the time. But again, like I go back to the argument where it's like this is the time where guys like that should be looking dominant, and you want to see that line thrive. But Lafreniere was a tire fire tonight. I mean, I don't know if it's because he was playing right wing or what, but he looked bad. Mika looked brutal. Mika looked brutal. I agree with Laviolette. He looked good in the first period, but after that, he didn't phrase it like this, but man, he was not good. He was not good after that first period. And then Adam Fox, I didn't like Adam Fox's game at all. I thought Fox had a brutal game. And then Ty Emberson, I thought was awful. Thought he was awful. I'll be straight up with you guys. But apparently I only criticize one player, right, guys? Uh Interesting. So I'm looking right now at the numbers, and it looks like I could see it. The Coley Brzezinski Kako line was the best. Almost 90% Corsi at even strength. Gross. No wonder Kako's analytics were so bad defensively because he didn't freaking spend time in the defensive zone. And the one time he did, I guess, was just not that great. But oh my God. 90% nearly? Guys, Capo Kako. He's here. He's here. He's here. I mean, every line except for that Lafreniere, Zibanejad, Kreider line, over well over 50% at Corsi, all over 60 except and that line 38.46%. Yikes, yikes. Like, it makes me wanna vomit because I want them to succeed. I actually gotta fire off a tweet about that. Wow, that's a what? Nearly 90% Corsi? By the way, worth noting that holy who is it? Brzezinski Taco line had a 89%, right? Was it 89%? 89%. 44 percentage at 5v5. I think it's safe to say Taco is starting to be a difference maker on the ice, even if he's not producing, which we love to see. Let's also not discredit the fact that Johnny Broadway was not Johnny Bingos tonight. He was missing some opportunities and he had chances to score. Johnny Brzezinski I thought was buzzing at points. So yeah. So yeah, I mean Kako's making a difference. Kako's making a difference. I can't and we're just not gonna appreciate that, right? There. And people will still say I'm being negative, even though I just tweeted something very positive. Nearly 90%. That is disgusting. I can't believe that. Can't believe that. I want to see what was the expected goals for percentage. 98.68%. Okay. I need to redo this tweet. I need to redo this tweet. By the way, worth noting the stats for that line. Let's try this again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tweeting in the middle of this. I just have to while I'm reading this off. 89 points. What was the Corsi 4 percentage? 89.5%. Oh my god. Oh my god. Goals for or expected goals for percentage. 98.68. Oh my god. Or some of the other unreal stats. What was the scoring chances for percentage? 100%? What? That's absurd. Same with the high danger chances for wow. There we go. Tweeted it. Tweeted it. I'm sorry that I was tweeting in the middle of this, but wow. Capo Caco. Capo Caco, you beauty. I don't want to discredit Will Coley either. I mean, he was very good. But the thing is, like, it's hard to not give the credit to Kako here with how good that Othman, Trocheck Kako line looked. So it's like hard to not give credit to Kako here. Wow. All right. Let me catch up on chat. I'm sorry, guys. That, like I said, I'm sorry I was tweeting in the middle of doing a live stream. Very unprofessional of me, but I mean, I pretty much gave all my thoughts. They just need to limit some of the chances. And yeah, this team could be in a very good spot. This team could be in a very good spot. We just need to see more from certain guys, too. We need to see Zibanejad start to give more at 5v5. Kreider, Lafreniere. We just need more from some guys. But Othman and Coley, yeah, I mean, the first comments are about Coley and Othman making the team. Laf needs to be gone. I'm really hoping Othman and Coley make this team. They deserve it. Brzezinski deserves a shout as well, especially with Benino underperforming these last 2 games. Cannot agree more. Cannot agree more. Nick Benino has pissed me off these past 2 games. I'll be honest. And it's sad because I was very excited for Nick Benino, and that's a guy I've wanted to be a Ranger for a long time, but he has just not looked good. Brzezinski definitely looks way better than him. And then, yeah, Othman and Coley. Yeah, they need spots. They need spots if they keep this up. Right now, my top 6 for opening night is Kreider, Mika, Kako, and Panarin, Hedel, Othman. Laffy has done nothing to prove he deserves a top 6 role come opening night. I agree. Obviously, he could light the lamp and things could change in a preseason game. And I'm hoping that happens because, again, I'm not rooting against the guy. I want him to thrive. Like, I celebrate like a maniac for this guy. I want him to thrive, but it's hard to it's getting so hard to defend him. Like, I'm sorry, you can't blame him being under previous coaches for him just throwing the puck in the middle of the ice to 4 Devils players there, covering the blue line there on the power play entry. And then another thing I forgot to mention too, on one of the power plays, he has a golden opportunity to shoot the puck and he just has no confidence with it. Like that, sure, maybe you could put a little bit of blame on coaching for destroying his confidence. But at the same time, dude, it's got to come at some point, and it's preseason. You can't be afraid to shoot the puck. If you're afraid to shoot the puck then and there in preseason, you're going to be terrified to shoot it in a regular season game where it matters more. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what's concerning me. Yeah, Jones looked great, but he could win a roster spot if Laviolette's comfortable with playing guys on their offhand because he's been better with Schneider. Like the beard you got going, thank you. I'm annoyed with it though. Like I can't grow. Like nothing's growing here. It's been like that for years now. Just I don't know what it is. Right? Years. I can't get anything going. And it's funny that you mentioned that. I was thinking about shaving it, but hey, you know what? The girlfriend likes it. Other people like it. Maybe I keep it. I don't know. Othman or Coley, I'm on team both. Laugh needs to go, seriously. He's young, but he hasn't looked like he wants to improve. Listen, I said it in the Stamkos video earlier. It might need to be a conversation where maybe he needs a change of scenery where a team's going to put more pressure on him to actually put the work in and to show his improvement and just like try to find a way for him to play a style of game that fits him. Like I just don't know. I just don't know if it's going to happen in New York. I really don't. I think he needs to go to a low key place. And I like, this is why I said earlier in the Stamkos video too. And people, I'm sure Tampa fans aren't happy about that. Be like, oh my God, Lafreniere is the headliner. You're stupid. That's not enough. I feel like in an organization like Tampa, that's the perfect fit for him. He could go somewhere where it's quiet and there's not as much noise surrounding him. And he goes to a smart organization that could really maybe help him. Maybe he's not the guy that he's going to be in juniors. And the sad part is the Rangers, I just don't think are the fit for him to find a different style of game for him. Where at Tampa, they're just such a smart organization where they could just find something for him. It's funny. It's so funny how much of a steal Gustafson is, especially when you look at guys like Graves getting 4.5, Gudis getting 4, and Hall getting 3.4. Yeah, those guys too. It's like I compared the puck moving defenseman earlier, but yeah, like even guys like that, Gustafson just miles ahead of those guys, and he's getting 825K. It's mind boggling. Laugh is not it. Yeah, I can't with it. I tried defending him for so long, but I'm like just at my breaking point with him. Because at least Kako's just making a difference, you know? Like, yeah, I don't think we should make predictions about the roster until after tomorrow's game. I think we're going to get a better idea tomorrow. Let's see this. Watching Bedard just easily skate through the Blues players is just sad when you compare him to Laf. Bro turns over the puck while trying to skate the puck into the zone on a power play. Yeah, it's just frustrating. Like that's the thing that makes me aggravated the most about all this and like people giving him a pass is like one, everyone was so critical of other guys like Jake Lecision caught heat for every little mistake. Brett Howden when he was here, Patrick Kane when he was here, like all these players catch heat for their mistakes, but Lafreniere for whatever reason seems to be an exception for some people. Where with me, like I get that people don't like when players get dogpiled on to begin with or catch a lot of heat to begin with, but like for me, I'm just pointing out the mistakes. I'm pointing out what I'm seeing on the ice, and yeah, it's just when you look at first overall picks around, it's just so hard to make excuses or defend Lafreniere because like at first it was like, oh, he has bad line mates. Look at what Connor Bedard's already doing in Chicago with guys like he's playing with Athanasiu and I don't even know who his other line mate is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he still looks good out there and you're noticing him. Jack Hughes, you're noticing a guy like him out there. Owen Power becoming a staple of that Buffalo blue line. Rasmus Dahlin is a staple of that blue line. One of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League. Like, you know, it's so hard when you look around. And then Capo Caco too. Like he's in a similar boat and he's still getting it done. Not production wise, like yeah, they're on par, but you're noticing Capo Caco out there at least making plays, you know? Like it's so hard. It's so hard to defend him, and it's infuriating that I can't sit here and speak positively about Lafreniere. Feel like Lafreniere is turning out to be a JT Miller type player. He also took forever to get it together, and yeah, that is not good news. Yeah, like that's just the other concerning part. Like people forget that there was a report that the Rangers were unhappy with Lafreniere, how he took his offseason, not this past offseason, but the offseason before. The Rangers were reportedly upset with the way he went about that offseason. So like, you know, it's concerning. Yeah, Kako, this Kako season's great. We will be there. I heard that Laugh spent time with a skating coach this offseason. You could tell when he was doing nothing faster than ever before. Yeah. I didn't even like notice that much of a change in his skating, and he worked with a skating coach. Like, it just scares me. Maybe his skating was better and I just was blinded by the mistakes he was making, but he needs to be better with the puck and he needs to have confidence with it. Probably spent 3 days with a skating coach and called it good. I'm also ready to give up on Lev. I wasn't before, but man, we are entering year 4 and he's the exact same player he was in year 1. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it seems like Akira Schmid might be a bigger issue for the Rangers than he should be, but we'll see. Rangers aren't going to beat my Devils this season. We'll see. We'll see. Ramona. I don't know if I said your name right, but we'll see. We'll see. I like to poke at the Devils every now and then. Don't take it personally. I do it for clicks, but we'll see. We'll see. Stamkos to the Rangers and so to the Mets. We will be there. Oh, we'll be front and center, Matt. Laffy and Jones for Clayton Keller. I wish, but I don't think that's enough for Clayton Keller for a guy that has uh, that much term on him. I'm very interested to see the lines Laviolette is going to have tomorrow. I hope we will see Panarin as well. Yeah, I mean, he said the goal was to get the veterans in 3 preseason games, so that would obviously mean we're going to get Panarin tomorrow by the logistics of that. I'd imagine we're gonna get like some of the guys also that probably will get their last game and then be cut. Like I think Belzile will play again tomorrow. I think Lecision will play tomorrow. Like guys like that are hanging on a thread here. Yeah, Jack Hughes wasn't that visible. I agree. Like, but still, like even then, there are times where it's like he was just moving the puck so well, and it's just like we can't even like we're celebrating Lafreniere making physical plays. Like it can't be this way. It can't be this way. Laugh is toast. I gave up on him. I gave up on him after tonight. Nothing going on with him in a preseason game. Yeah, it's concerning. Shire's having issues / hesitation. Maybe it's the new system. Gustafsson will be a good mentor for him. I agree. Yeah. Schneider's worrying me. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. I went way longer with this one than I expected. So yeah, we'll be back at it again tomorrow where the Rangers play the Islanders at UBS. I'm gonna be at that game as well tomorrow, so it will be a late post game yet again. We are 1 subscriber away, by the way, from 1.8K. So I would appreciate it if you're not subscribed, if you did, or if you spread the word, something like that. I appreciate any of that. Means a lot. I love all of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.